and welcome back to another episode of our Bridgesimton challenge. We are here with the Vasari family, and this is Flora. She is just currently working on her school project because she is trying to get her grades up in her school because she's not doing well. So we are just going to let her work on this school project, and then hopefully she'll be able to get her grades up in school. She has been doing a lot of socializing in school so that she can make friends and meet new people, but unfortunately due to that, her grades are starting to suffer. She's been working on her homework and she did get that finished, and later on I'll probably have to get her to do a little bit of makeup homework. But now we're just going to work on this school project so that she can hopefully get a little bit of a head start and work on getting her grades up in school. And then we are probably going to have her work on doing a little bit of practicing some singing. She has been able to master her etiquette. She's been working on some cross stitching. So she has been working on a lot of her skills to try to get herself ready for the marriage market, and she's feeling like she's getting much closer to getting to a place where she's going to be an eligible bachelorette for someone to be able to marry once she finally gets to a place for the marriage market to take place, which is really, really exciting for her. I think that originally when they had come into money and she found out that she was going to be able to be eligible for the marriage market, she wasn't really all that keen on that idea. She didn't really know how she felt about it. But as time has gone on, she is kind of getting excited about it. Like, she's starting to feel like maybe this is going to be good for her and her family if she finds herself someone that she can marry and someone that she is going to be able to settle down with and have a family with, and she is starting to get a little bit excited about the prospect. So I am really looking forward to seeing if she's able to find herself a match in the market and if she is going to be lucky in that area. So we are going to be seeing her move towards that area soon. As we know, she is a bit of a romantic sim. I think she daydreams about love and finding the special someone in her life, and she gets flirty here and there. So I do think that overall she wants someone to love. She wants to find someone that she can be in a romantic relationship with. And so the idea of finding someone in the marriage market to her is pretty exciting. We're just going to go ahead and have Ulysses come in here and help with his daughter's school project, and hopefully we can get this finished up a little bit quickly here. He obviously is a very attentive father and he wants to help better her. So he's going to help her with that. And yeah, they finished that off pretty quickly, which we love. So we're just going to have him go ahead and talk to her a little bit about her day and see how things are going for her. Obviously, he definitely wants her to find someone that is an eligible bachelor. He wants her to find someone that she can settle down with and have a legacy with. You know, he thinks that is very important. I think he dreamed of that before they even became wealthy. He wanted something for her that was better, even when they were a poor family. And now that they are a upper class family, he is really, really excited with the fact that, you know, she is going to be able to have that life that he always kind of dreamed that she would be able to have. So he definitely wants that for her. I do think that we are going to try to get him to socialize a bit with her, and, you know, first we'll let him go ahead and grab himself a bite to eat, but I think he'll spend a bit of time with his daughter, and you will see that their dynamic is a pretty good one, a pretty close one, and she really does lean on her father for a lot of advice in what she should do in the future when it comes to finding someone that is eligible. She really takes a lot of his advice because she loves her father, and she kind of wants to find someone, you know, not necessarily just like her father, but she does like the dynamic of her mom and her dad's relationship. You know, they are very close, they are very loving, and so she kind of hopes that when she finds someone that her love interest is going to be able to dote on her the way that her parents kind of dote on each other. So she definitely looks to her parents' relationship for inspiration of what she wants in her relationship for the future. So we are just currently working on some painting skill for her. She does need to get some painting skill for the marriage market, so we are working on a little bit of painting skill for her So hopefully she'll be able to get a little bit of painting skill. I do think she needs to get a painting skill of level 5. But we have had someone show up to the house here. So once she's done painting, we'll just have her go ahead and invite this person in. And I think she would go ahead and probably do a little bit of a ladylike introduction to him. And just probably go ahead and try to get to know him. Even though he's a stranger, I don't think that she's really ever met a stranger. Being a poor person that has risen the ranks, I think that kind of gives her a different aspect on how to approach people. And, you know, she's not really a very snobby person. She is definitely a person that would be more outgoing and would be more welcoming to people of all different types of backgrounds. And she likes to gossip, and she likes to share all kinds of dirt on the society and things like that with people. And so I think that makes her really open to getting to know new people and new faces. And, you know, because she is a flirty sim and she is hoping one day to find love, I think she's also quick to, you know, compliment people and just be like, oh, you know, you look really, really nice. And so I think she's going to just tell him, you know, you look great. And I think she's going to try doing a little bit of flirty things with this person. And I don't even know that she's really trying to start anything romantic with him, but I think it just comes naturally to her to be a little bit flirty because she is a flirty person that definitely wants to find romance in her life. And she just does it without even thinking about it. And she doesn't even realize that she's really being kind of forward. She just really wants to find someone that she could hopefully be in a relationship with one day. Obviously, she is just trying to get up a little bit of her fun. So I'm going to have her go ahead and do some things that will get her fun need up. She is struggling in that area. So I'm going to have her go on downstairs. It looks like she wants to play on the piano a little bit, and hopefully that will help get her fun need up. So it looks like she had come in to try to play a little bit of chess with her dad, but her dad was like, I'm done playing chess right now, Flora. Why don't you go on downstairs and play the piano a little bit? And she's like, okay, Dad, that's fine. I can do that, definitely. So we'll send her on down. She's going to go play the piano a little bit. She does have a music level 5, and so she can play the piano quite well. And I do think that she does get pretty good enjoyment out of that. So we'll let her play the piano for a little bit. But then I think that she sees her mom in there in the kitchen, and she realizes that she hasn't really spent any time with her mom today. And so she's going to go in there and she's going to chat with her mom a little bit about the society gossip, because as we know, she absolutely loves to gossip. She loves to talk about the things that she's learned about the society news and the things that people are talking about, all the hush-hush stuff that people kind of, you know, turn their nose up about. She knows all the dirt on everybody. And so she's telling her mom all about the dirt, and she's going to just have a little bit of a conversation about those things with her mom. And then she wants to talk to her mom a little bit about etiquette and about how she has done really well in getting her etiquette up, and that her mom would be really proud of her because she has done so well in learning the things that she needed to learn in order for her to meet the things that she needs to meet for the marriage market. And I think that she would just tell her, oh, and they have a supportive family dynamic. I love that. So I think her mom would just tell her, you know, I am so proud of you for everything that you have done. I really am really pleased with the fact that you've taken this so seriously, Flora. I was worried that you were not going to take this seriously when we were thrust into this life, but the fact that you have embraced it and you've done so well really makes me proud of you. And I just want you to know that, you know, anything you set your mind to, you're going to be able to achieve. And I just absolutely know you're going to find someone amazing when you finally do enter the marriage market. And Flora's like, oh my gosh, like that means so much to me, Mom. Flora's decided she's going to go on in here. She's going to wind down a little bit with the classical music. And maybe when she's done with that, I will get her to go ahead and maybe work on a little bit of cross stitching. She does need to learn a little bit of cross stitching for her marriage market skills as well, and so she might work on that a little bit. I was kind of hoping that her and Ulysses would get a little bit of dancing in, just because I really do enjoy watching them do some dancing, but it would seem that it's getting kind of late and everyone is kind of wanting to do their own things and start wrapping things up for the evening. So she's gonna head on upstairs and go and do a little bit of writing. Maybe she'll get some journaling done, but I'm also going to go ahead and get her to do that makeup homework that she needs to do. But then she realizes that that gentleman is still here at the house. Like, he hasn't left. And so she's thinking to herself, well, you know, I might as well spend a little bit of time with him and get some chatting in, because honestly, it's really rude to just leave him all alone, you know, here in the house without anyone tending to him. I'm not being a very good hostess. And so once she gets her homework done, she's probably going to go ahead and go on in there and spend a little bit of time with him. Oh, he's coming here to talk to her. Okay, so they're going to get a little bit more talking in. I think that she would obviously chat with him about some interest and share some society gossip with him and see how he is about the gossip and if he cares to learn anything about the gossip. He's playing a little bit of tricks on her, and they're fast becoming good friends, it would seem. But she realizes that she really is feeling like maybe she could potentially see something in him. And so she thinks, what's a harm in a little bit of flirting? So I do think she is going to try flirting with him a little bit more. And obviously Ulysses is like, I can't leave her alone in here with this gentleman. So he's come in, he's pulling it off, like giving her a hug and, you know, having a little bit of a talk with her, but really he's trying to chaperone them without it seeming like he's chaperoning them. And he's like, you know, what are you doing, Flora? And she's like, oh, nothing, Dad. I'm just having a little bit of a conversation here with this gentleman's, you know, caller, and we're just having a nice little conversation about the society, and things are going really, really well. But then she starts flirting with him in front of her dad, and Ulysses is like, you know, that's not proper. And she's like, Dad, I've not really done anything wrong. You need to calm down. Don't be so, you know, such a stickler for the rules. And he's like, there are rules in place for a reason, Flora. And you know that you have to enter into the marriage market for you to meet someone. And this gentleman might be a little bit too old for you, and I just don't think it's very proper for the way you're behaving. And she's like, Dad, I really think that you're overreacting. We're just, you know, having a good time getting to know one another. And he's like, I just think that you should think about the way things look sometimes, and not just act the way you want to act whenever you want to act that way. And as you can see, Flora's feeling a little bit tense now, and she's got the moodlet that she wants to get away from her family, and she wants to escape her family. So she's kind of frustrated with her family right now. She's frustrated being around them, and I think that her dad's kind of upset her a little bit and maybe even embarrassed her. And her gentleman caller has decided he's going to go ahead and leave. So I'm going to go ahead and send Flora down. I'm going to let her go grab herself a bite to eat. We will get her to come on down here and make a little bit of breakfast foods. And hopefully she will be able to get that ready before she has to head herself off to school. Soon it will be school time. So I'm just going to have her go ahead and whip up some fried eggs, and hopefully she'll get that made and she'll be able to eat that before she heads off into school for the day. She was up all night long doing homework and socializing, and she didn't get any sleep at all. She pulled herself an all-nighter socializing and carrying on, and now she's got to grab herself a bit of something to eat before she has to head into another day of school here. So we will make sure that she's at least fed before she has to head into school. It does look like Ulysses has headed off to bed there. He is getting himself some much needed rest, because he's like, some people in this house need to sleep. You guys may want to stay up all night long carrying on, and you know, but I'm gonna get some rest because I have to work tomorrow. But Flora, not her, she's having nothing about it. She's like, I don't want to miss anything, like not anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab her a serving of these fried eggs and let her grab a bite to eat here, and then we will send her off to school for the day, and we will let her go ahead and enjoy her school day. Typically, I let her go ahead and carry on with making friends, but today I'm gonna let her go ahead and just work normally. I'm hoping she can go ahead and, you know, get her grades up. Since she did do the school project and she has done her homework and her makeup work, I'm hoping she'll get a little bit of a bump in her grades if she works normally today. So we will make her work normally at her school day. Ulysses is headed off to work, so that's fantastic. And then we'll just have Mom here holding down the fort while those two are off at work and school. So Mom's just gonna go ahead and have herself a serving of eggs as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and jump in and check on our timeline, because according to our timeline, we do have some birthdays of some of our other characters that we need to check in on. So let's go and look at our timeline. So for our birthdays for today, we have Daphne Bridgerton, Benedict Bridgerton, Gavin Bellini, and Giovanni Bellini aging up. So let's go ahead and jump over into the Bridgerton home. All right, so this is Daphne Bridgerton. We are going to be aging her up from a infant to a toddler, and for that she can't roll a 3, 7, or a 14. So let's go ahead and we are going to roll the dice. She rolls a 6, which is a good number, so we're going to go ahead and age her up to a toddler and give her her makeover. And here is Daphne Bridgerton after her makeover. She is super cute. And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at Benedict Bridgerton. This is Benedict. We are going to be aging him up to a child. And for him aging up to a child, he isn't able to roll a 3 or a 17. So let's go ahead and roll the dice for him. He rolls a 19, which is a good number. So let's go ahead and age him up to a child and give him his makeover. Alright, so there is Benedict Bridgerton, and we are going to head on over to the Bellini family, and we are going to see Gavin and Giovanni Bellini and age them up as well. So this is Gavin Bellini. He is going to be aging up to a child also. For that, as we know, they can't roll a 3 or 17. So let's go ahead and roll for Gavin. Gavin rolls a 12, which is a good number, so let's go ahead and age him up and give him his makeover. And here is Gavin Bellini after his makeover. And now we are going to take a look at his sister Giovanni, who also can't roll a 3 or a 7. And we are going to be rolling the dice for Giovanni, and she rolls a 10, which is a good number. So let's go ahead and we will give her her makeover. And here is Giovanni Bellini after her makeover, and we are going to go ahead and jump back into the game and in with our Vasari family. So over here back in the Vasari family, as we know, we have Ulysses and we have Flora, who is at school and work. We are just here with the mother, and we are just going to go ahead and we're going to see what she's up to. It does look like she is just going around cleaning up everything in the house. But I am going to have her work on some of her skill building as well. I think that she probably needs to get some things done. Maybe I'll have her actually work on writing a book. I think that would be good for her if she works on maybe some writing skill. So I'm going to have her go ahead and work on writing a book. And so I am going to send her to do that. And I think she would enjoy that. I think that would do some nice passing of the time for her. And it would be better than her just going around cleaning everything in the house, because let's face it, they do have a butler. So she doesn't necessarily need to be walking around cleaning everything in the house, because that's really what her butler does. So really, she's just being overly neat. So I am going to go ahead and queue up for her to get some writing done. and she's going to write a children's book. So we will go ahead and let her work on that. So let's go ahead and queue up for that to take place. And she is just waiting on her family to go ahead and get home. I think that she has decided that once Flora gets home, she would like to go ahead and take her out for a little bit of tea. It does look like Contessa had called and she congratulated Ulysses on a new job. So we love that for him. So let's go ahead and get her writing for now. And then once Flora comes home, I'm going to be queuing up for them to go ahead and go out to tea together. And I think I'm going to have them work on going to a nice little place out in the town, and they're going to go and have tea together as mother and daughter. And I think that will be nice for them to get out on the town and go to a little tea shop, have a nice tea and crumpets together, and they'll be able to see any of the townspeople, maybe meet some new people, and it'll get them out of the home, which will be something that we definitely need to do occasionally. So they will just go out together and meet some new people, go have some tea together, and give them a chance to kind of talk about Flora's day at school and see how she feels like things are going towards working on the marriage market. And just Flora and her mom will be able to spend some much needed time together discussing life and how things are going. So I think that will be really, really nice. First, we are going to do our random selection roll. We have the 5 selections to choose from. So we're going to go from 1 to 5 and we're going to roll, and we got a 5. So we are going to take a look, and if we choose category 5, there are 3 categories under there. So if we go from 1 to 3 and roll, we got a 2, which is max motives reward for the family playing. Give the whole family full needs. All right, so they get full needs for this whole family. I'm going to give everyone max needs now. And then we are going to, now that Flora is home from school, go ahead and we are going to have her travel with her mom, and we're going to have them go ahead and go on out for tea. And we are going to have them have a nice outing. Oh, it looks like the mom has decided that she wants to be cheerful. We absolutely love that. So dad is still at work, so he won't be going out with us for tea. It'll just be Flora and Odessa here. And so we're going to head on out. We're going to go and we're going to go out to tea and see about them meeting new people. And hopefully this going out to tea works out really well for them, because sometimes, you know, when you go out to places like cafes and restaurants, it takes forever for you to get your order. So hopefully this will go smoothly. But at the very least, you know, even if we don't get our order in a timely fashion, we at the very least will be able to spend some time with some of the community members, and we'll be able to make some good relationships. So let's go ahead and travel to the tea parlor. Okay, so we have arrived here at the tea parlor, and as you can see, there are a lot of people here out front. We are just going to go ahead and have Flora do a ladylike introduction to this couple here, and she wants to obviously get to know them a little bit better. And obviously the Alessandros are here, but we aren't currently playing with them. They are still in the world, but we're not necessarily playing with them. So I'm not going to have her introduce herself to them, but the other family is a wealthy family that is in the game, and they do have some siblings that are of teen age, and so I am going to have her introduce herself to them, just because I think they have some people that are going to be going into the marriage market, and so it would be nice for her to obviously get to know them so that she could have at least introduced herself to them in the event that, you know, when it's time for us to enter into the marriage market, she'll have at least met them and could have a bit of a chance with their child, whatever the case may be. So she's just going to go over here and request a table, and hopefully we'll be able to get a table so that we can have ourselves a little bit of a tea here. And we are going to meet anybody that comes in that looks like they're of this time period. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are here that maybe don't necessarily fit the time period, but we'll just overlook them. But we are going to go ahead and go on upstairs and get ourselves seated at our table, and then we will go ahead and place an order for some tea, and maybe we will see what else they have. Maybe they have some, cookies or something like that. So I am going to go ahead and just order some calming chamomile, I think, tea for both of them. And then I will get them both. Okay, so they have cake. Maybe we can do this winter cake for both of them as well. So we'll get them both a slice of this winter cake as well. And then I'll place that order, and hopefully we won't have to wait forever for that. But it does look like we have a couple of more people, like over there to the far left. There's a new gentleman that we put in the game, so that's Mr. Hendrickson. He's new. He just moved into town, so we're gonna go and we're going to introduce ourselves to him. So we'll go over and have Flora give him a respectful introduction. She is having a teen mood right now, so she is just like dragging ass, and I hate that when they act like that when they're all moody, but whatever, it is what it is. So she's going to give him a respectful introduction, and then they're going to have a little bit of a chat. Maybe I'll actually have her come over here and sit down at the table, and they can sit and chat over here. And then we will, if anyone else comes around, we will have them all just kind of gather around and chat together and just kind of get to know each other. We're going to discuss some interest and gossip a little bit and chat about, some small talk. And she's just going to try to build up a little bit of a relationship with the community members and try to get to know them a little bit better. Obviously, she's going to try to include her mother in the conversation because she does want her mother to have a little bit of a conversation with them as well. I am sure at some point that Odessa will obviously go ahead and introduce herself as well, and we'll see how, she can carry on with everyone in the community as well. But for now, we're just having Flora build up her relationship with some of these people. It does look like we do have two more people over here, so we will have her go ahead and give a respectful introduction to these two Sims as well, and she'll try to get to know them. So she's just really trying to be outgoing. She's really trying to be friendly. I think that Flora really feels, she doesn't like deep thoughts. Okay, well, you don't have to like deep thoughts, I guess. I guess she likes shallow conversation. But she is trying to be outgoing. She's trying to be friendly. I think she does feel like it's really important for her to build some friendships up in the community, because her thought is the more people she knows, the better reach she has to find someone eligible for her to marry. And so she's trying to cast a really wide net so that she can find someone that she can marry. And I think she's feeling really, really tense that her mother's here. For whatever reason, she really struggles with being around her family. I don't really know what that's about, but she really does. And she also had a horrible day at school today, which I hate, because I was really hoping that she would have a good day at school, being that she had gotten her homework done and she had done her makeup work and she had done that school project. I was hoping that she would have had a great day and she would have gotten her grades up a little bit, but it really doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that for whatever reason, she's had a really, really tough day. She's feeling all this teenage angst, and she's just feeling super moody. She's stressed out because she's around her mom, and she is just really, really having a day. So I really kind of feel bad for Flora, but at the same time, like, get over it. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to impress these people around you. You're trying to get to know them. You're trying to make a name for yourself. And you're not going to be able to do that if you are pitching a teenage fit. So, like, you just need to get over yourself. So she is, as you can see, sharing a little bit of society gossip. And it seems that that is going pretty good. Of course, she absolutely loves to gossip. That is just her jam. So that is something that she thrives on doing. They are still waiting on their food. It is getting really, really late. It's really late. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And they still don't have their tea and cake. And I think that Obviously, Odessa is thinking to herself, like, this is ridiculous. What is up with the service here? Flora doesn't seem to mind so much because she's keeping herself busy with the other community members. But I think that, you know, Odessa is thinking to herself, like, I could have made tea and cake faster myself. Like, but you know, her thought was, I just wanted to come out and have a conversation with my daughter. I wanted to spend time with her, and really she hasn't had any chance to really spend any time with Flora because Flora has been avoiding her and spending so much time talking to other people. It looks like Odessa has now introduced herself to that gentleman over there, and they got an instant attraction, so we love that for them. But she just hasn't had any time with Flora. She has, you know, watched her be interacting with the community members, and they just haven't had really any time to kind of one-on-one spend time together. You know, I guess Odessa was kind of thinking, well, you know, it's okay for her to, you know, socialize while we're waiting on our tea and cakes, but the problem is that the tea and cakes are never coming. And so she's like, I guess we're never going to get to a place where we're going to actually get to sit down and have a conversation over tea and cakes. So she's starting to kind of get a little bit frustrated with the service, and it's starting to get really, really late, and she's thinking, you know, we might as well just call it a day. So she's going to tell Flora, I think we should just give up our table and we should, you know, cancel our order. And she's like, do you really think so, Mom? And she's like, well, we've been here for like 6 hours. I mean, how long does it make to take tea and cakes? And she's like, okay. And she's like, I really kind of hoped that we would have some time to spend talking to one another about some things, but it just doesn't seem that that's going to be the case. And Flora's like, all right, well, I'll just go ahead and I guess give up our table and we can go ahead and think about heading home. And of course, the community members are like, well, we really enjoyed just, you know, chatting with you and getting to know you. It was really nice discussing all kinds of things with you. And Flora's like, yeah, I absolutely had a blast, you know, getting to know you as well. It really means a lot to me to be able to do that. And Odessa, of course, is like, yes, anytime you would like to visit, please do just stop on by the house. That would be, you know, we would love to see you guys. And so they are obviously just spending, you know, these last few bit of time here wrapping up their conversation with these community members, and she's decided that she's going to go on down and let them know that she is about to cancel their order, and Flora is going to go ahead and give up the table, and we are going to go ahead and head ourselves on to the house. So she did try to, as you can see, just flirt with him, and he was like, he's an unflirty sim, and he got kind of put off by that. So I think she's kind of made him feel a little bit embarrassed now. And she's like, I am terribly sorry. I wasn't trying to be like that. Sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself. And he's like, that's fine. I just, you know, I didn't really care for that. And she's like, I really do apologize. Please don't tell my mother. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to give up this table. She's feeling really embarrassed now that she has embarrassed him, and she doesn't want her mother to find out. So we're going to give up the table, and we are going to go ahead and head ourselves on to the house. Now that we have gotten back to our home, we are just going to have Flora go ahead and go on in here and finish her painting, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel, and I will see you guys in our next episode of our Bridgesimton challenge, where we will be with our next family, where we will be seeing what they have going on in their family. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.